You wanna take an Uber and pay surge prices no matter the cost? Prices surge at hotels and Airbnbs in the area because they know that attendees who desperately want to stay in one are willing to pay for it. The last thing you want is to have a heat stroke and all the money you spent or borrowed for what you thought would be an amazing experience is gone. Hi, Sam and Mabuhay. I'm Dominic, aka FiliSwissed. Welcome back to my channel where we try to live our best lives on a budget without losing our minds. Today we're talking about expensive leisure habits, specifically music festivals. They're supposed to feed your soul, right? But if you're not careful, they'll feed on your wallet, your patience, and your last shred of dignity. Now, if you're all about giving love back to your bank account, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell for more smart spending, guilt-free splurges, and not this year vibes. Let's get into it. Let's start with the base costs. Ticket prices aren't some hidden secret. You can literally go online and see them right there in bold font. If you go every year or want to go for the first time, you can plan for it. Ticket prices aren't dropped last minute, and even better if you can get early bird tickets. Give yourself time to save up the money you need to buy the ticket without owing anyone. Even if there is a buy now, pay later scheme, some services might also charge interest, and depending on how much you're borrowing, would you be able to clear that debt before you book your next buy now, pay later experience or before the final due date of your final monthly payment? Now that your ticket is sorted, how do you get there? Is it like the Zurich Open Air and you can easily travel to the festival grounds by public transport? Or it is in the middle of nowhere and you need a car? Or after taking public transport, will there be a shuttle bus? You need to consider your transportation costs, and there are pros and cons for both transportation methods. How much fuel does your car need to get there and home, including sitting in traffic and waiting for security check to enter the parking area at the festival? Do you have enough time between connections so you don't miss the shuttle that takes you to the festival location while carrying your baggage? You wanna take an Uber and pay surge prices no matter the cost? Trains and trams bypass traffic, but a car will carry everything you want to bring with you, and you only have the last 10 feet, figuratively speaking, to carry your baggage to the camping grounds, assuming you're camping. Which brings me to the other base cost, accommodation. If the festival location isn't close to home or easy to get to by public transport, where will you stay? Depending on your budget or what you're willing to spend, you could be either camping or staying at a hotel or Airbnb. Prices surge at hotels and Airbnbs in the area because they know that attendees who desperately want to stay in one are willing to pay for it, without thinking that they would continue to additionally pay to travel to the festival location and back unless they opted to take the shuttle bus. If you opt for camping, are you bringing your own gear? Do you even have any? If you don't want to pitch your own tent, does the event offer camping accommodations that you can book? This one from Open Air Sanggalan has two options. The tent for 4 people is for around 200 francs, which is already sold out, but you could have split the price if you were a group of 4. And the Lotus Bell for 1,300 francs. Or like the Southside Festival in Germany, which I would have gone for Green Day and Yellow Card this year, but Southside offers resort camping. For 229 euros, you can glamp, and if you want electricity, then that's an additional 119 euros. Tomorrowland does it a bit different. They have packages from Festival Pass, accommodation, transport to travel programs. For this, you would need to pre-register. So even if the festival is not until July, and we're only in May now, the deadline was on the 23rd of January. And they say you need to pay immediately or your order will be canceled and your tickets will go back on sale. So here, timing is key if you want to opt for the full package. So start saving now for next year because the tickets are already sold out anyway. So yeah, securing the ticket is just step one. Once you add in transport and where you'll sleep or not sleep, the base cost alone can already feel like a mini vacation budget for a weekend only. But we're not done yet because once you're through the gates, then that's where the real spending starts. If it's your first time going to a music festival, or if you remember your first time going to one, you might have the same surprise I had about the cost of food and drinks at these events. You'd think you can be clever by bringing your own water bottle or food at the festival grounds, but no, not allowed. They want you to spend while you're there. Whether it's branded merch, power banks, or food and drinks, you will spend on something while you're there. I already know that prices of food and drinks at festivals will be high, but Coachella is being criticized about their overpriced concessions this year. Critics are calling it diabolical and a money trap. How does a lemonade filled with mostly ice cost $17? Or a $25 chicken shawarma that barely had chicken and served with undercooked rice? That is just criminal. Or $10 for a matcha because you want something refreshing. I mean, I'd go for a water-based drink, but okay, let's go milk-based. You want that cold foam that other people are posting about? Sure, that's another $4 more. Or the alcohol, which by default I would be expecting to be expensive, but if what this Reddit user says is true, that you pay $16 for a beer served at room temperature, unless it's an ale, then pass. I'm a Guinness girl anyway, but living in a country and close to more countries that have a strong beer culture with a strong emphasis on serving beer at its optimal temperature, that to me is expensive for Heineken's light beer that should typically be served cold. But yeah, I guess the only thing you can do is complain only after you find out it's not actually cold. When a beer is served too warm, it diminishes its crispness and freshness, especially when you know it's brewed using an ice cold lagering process at -1 degree Celsius. But, what's more important is to regularly drink water. You want to get another alcoholic drink? Finish a bottle of water first to hydrate yourself and then go spend $23 on that vodka Red Bull mixer. The last thing you want is to have a heat stroke and all the money you spent or borrowed for what you thought would be an amazing experience is gone. Let's think about all of this for a second. Does it make sense to go to a festival where you pay for a standard ticket at around $600, then the cost of food and drinks come at you like you're smog hoarding the Lonely Mountains treasures? It's easier for us at the Zurich Open Air because we go home and just come back the next day either already fed or we decide to have dinner when we're there. But in cases like when we had to camp at the open air Frauenfeld, we were more strategic. We brought food that did not need to be refrigerated, so that would be our brunch, and we also brought snacks with us for when we felt peckish, then only paid for food from the stands for dinners. We didn't buy anything from the general store at the festival, which we know would be marked up. We didn't need to buy extra food from the stands. We didn't need to feel guilty paying for the prices of drinks. The beauty in when we go to these events is that we're not heavy drinkers to begin with. The cost of drinks look higher last year, or was it maybe 2 years ago already? But only because you're paying the deposit. When you bring the cups back to the deposit station, you get your deposit money back. Even the open air cinema does this, so I'm not surprised anymore, and I just know that it's coming and that I'm ready. So now that you realize you would be dropping a fortune to stay fed and hydrated, you'd think that's all you need or would want. But no. Thanks to Instagram chala culture, there's been an inherent expectation to show up like it's a fashion show, or what they call the Fashion Olympics, with a new outfit for every single day you're at the festival. So the other hidden cost comes before you even go. Some festival goers buy single-use outfits for each day they're at Coachella for fear of being called an outfit repeater on their socials. Calm down just a bit. Because posts on Instagram and TikTok have a short shelf life. Combine that with short attention spans and those who scroll past your post for something more interesting that appeared on their feed below yours. Or those that just don't care about you and barely even know you, because social media platforms nowadays aren't necessarily showing posts from your friends on your feeds anymore. Gone are the days of proper timelines for connecting with friends. They're showing you posts from users you are not following or from large pages unless you toggle the option to show following or favorites. And maybe even then, you will still rarely see the posts from your friends, or it's just not a habit. What was the return on investment in the end? Did your outfits even land, or did you end up in someone's worst outfits at Coachella list video? It doesn't hurt for you to wear the same outfit, but maybe you're an influencer or a creator who posts about fashion, then that might be your only reason to incur more expenses, right? How about being more creative in how you create your outfits? Once you've decided on your aesthetic, what's your hero piece? Could your look be elevated by just working on your hairstyle and makeup? Do you have existing jewelry or accessories that'll help change the look? If you don't have the hero piece for your desired aesthetic, would you be able to buy only that piece and not be distracted and buy more while you tell yourself, I need this, when in reality, you just want it? Or are you just trying to copy someone else's style instead of working on looks that actually bring out the best of your appearance that could actually get you more compliments? Fine. But if this person you're copying is an influencer, do you know if they paid for that haul or were they sponsored? Don't get me wrong. If you've been following me here and on my socials, you would know that I like to dress up for festivals too. But I don't necessarily buy an outfit for each day of each year I go. I use the same clothes I have. I mean, I even made my own macrame festival outfit, so I bought the material and took my time making it. And it really helps to know the amount of effort it takes to make garments by hand. I think it was last year that we brought our own t-shirts to the festival and have the logo printed on them at one of the stands. And we paid for the printing as opposed to buying the merch instead. When curating my outfits, I take into account that going to festivals mean that I can't wear outfits that could easily be ruined or irreparable, and that would hurt if they cost a lot. Either because I could accidentally spill something on myself or there are people around me. Like the girl we encountered at the VIP area at the Zurich Open Air who tossed her broken, filthy fork in my bag. Disgusting and disrespectful. If you want to know more about my negative experiences at music festivals and why I'm debating whether or not to still go, check out my latest podcast episode. But yes, I think about what I plan on doing at the festival if I'm gonna be in the pit or the VIP area or dancing and my surroundings, so I can curate my outfits accordingly based on what I have in my closet and vanity. And while you're busy planning your festival slay and curating outfits from your closet, don't forget someone still has to watch your dog or feed your cat, fish, bird, or any other pet you may have. Or look after your kids while you're out there living your best main character life. How much does it cost to leave your pet or children behind? That depends. Can you leave them with someone you trust? Do you need to leave your dog at a kennel or a dog hotel? Is there someone you trust to leave your house key with to feed your cat or fish? Maybe your parents live close to you so your kids can stay with them. Is your partner not joining at the festival because it's not their thing, so there's someone at home to watch the fort? All these help cut the cost. You just need to know what you need to do. But let's say none of these options are available to you and you need to plan this cost ahead and budget for it. Planning ahead isn't optional because at the end of the day, the festival ends, but your real life and responsibilities are still there waiting. That was probably a lot to absorb, so let's do a quick review. The cost of going to a music festival isn't just the ticket. You've got transportation, accommodation, food, drinks, outfits, and even a cost of making sure your pets or kids are safe while you're gone. That's a lot for a weekend that's supposed to be all about fun. I'm not saying don't go, I'm saying go smarter. Be intentional. Budget for the full experience, not just the glam moments for the gram. And if something doesn't fit your financial plan this year, it's okay to sit it out and try again next year with even more clarity. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. I'll see you in the next one.